Hey everyone, and welcome back to FSI DFS. I am McKinley 412, and today we're going to be looking at this major 12-game slate on Saturday. It's been a busy week, but hopefully you guys have been doing well. So we're finally at the weekend, a couple of massive favorites on the slate today. So let's just kind of dive right in and take a look at the money lines and the totals right now. So Nashville going up against Arizona, a minus 300 favorite. You got Colorado at minus 225, Toronto going against Buffalo at minus 200, then a couple more decent favorites with Winnipeg, Pittsburgh, and Dallas. So quite a few large favorites. There's going to be some pretty popular plays tonight, even though it is a 12-game slate, but I still think that you're going to be able to separate yourself pretty easily just with how many games there are. As far as game total wise, there's going to be lots of goals in this Colorado game, mainly from the Colorado side, and then this Toronto Buffalo game. But I kind of think that goals are going to kind of be coming from both teams in this one. Buffalo 5-1-1 at home so far this season. They've looked much better at home than they have on the road. Shut down Connor McDavid last night, beat Edmonton, so that was really impressive. And now another test with Austin Matthews coming in. So we'll see what they can do there. As far as everybody else, it is a 5.5 total. So let's kind of go through each of the positions. We'll kind of give you our favorite cash plays, our favorite TPP plays in each of the different ranges. So we'll just kind of go through cash here first. John Tavares right up at the top, 7.1K. Now, Matthews, he's obviously the number one option on Toronto offensively, but like I said, Buffalo at home, they've actually done a pretty good job at shutting down the top line centers so far this season, including Connor McDavid last night. But where the damage has been coming from has been from that second line center. So I do like Tavares here. He came back after missing a game, but he skated 20 minutes last night. And prior to that game last night, he was averaging close to 20 DraftKings points in his past 6 games. Like, he was on a tear. He was doing really well. So I like the matchup here for him, and I kind of like the little discount that you get from him compared to Matthews. JT Compher up next in the mid-tier. We talked about this guy last time out he's kind of taking over that line one role where McKinnon was. He plays top line power play as well, skating in between Landeskog and Rantanen. So he was a big letdown last game, even though they scored 7 goals, Colorado did. But I think this is a nice bounce back spot. Massive favorites, like I mentioned. So I think Compher is in a nice spot. He's got goals. He can score goals. He can get assists. He can pretty much do everything. It was just kind of a letdown last time, but I'm going back to the well there. And then for a cheap one, we'll go with Boone Jenner. I'm not really too thrilled with the center position today in cash in general, which is odd considering there are so many matchups. But still, Jenner for Columbus going up against the Rangers, who've looked pretty good. I mean, they've gotten bailed out by a lot of insane goaltending so far this season. But still, I like Columbus here. Jenner, he's on a 4-game point streak. He's got 15 shots in those 4 games, and he's seeing over 20 minutes of ice time and top power play unit. So combine all of those things at a price tag of only 4.5. I think you can do much worse in that situation. Or to GPP, we kind of already talked about it with Austin Matthews. He's one of the guys. He has one of the best ceilings on the entire slate. Now he's going up against Buffalo, who, like I said, they have been very good at home at shutting down that top line center and just good at home in general. But still, it's Austin Matthews. I as a major Sabres fan, you can tell I don't believe in this team yet. I still have my hesitations. So Matthews, he can put up a 30-point night any given night. So 9.2K, for GPP, that's fine. Down to Granlund for Nashville, going up against Arizona. He's on the biggest favorite of the entire night. He's not scoring many goals this season. He's only got 2 goals this season, but he's got 13 assists. So he's going at over a point per game pace. He's on that top power play unit. He's got a limited floor, but still, his upside with everything being on this biggest favorite, top line, highest implied total, I think could be in for a nice smash spot. And then Pierre-Luc Dubois for Winnipeg at 4.9K, down to him. he looks like a totally different guy in Winnipeg as compared to what he was in Columbus. In Columbus, he never really shot the puck at all. He was just kind of like, hey, he'll get one, maybe 2 or 3 shots in a game, and then hope to get a goal off of that. But he's shooting the puck a whole lot more. So he's kind of changed his game there. He's got 8 goals, 5 assists in just 13 games so far. So he's at a point per game pace. They are going up against the Kings, which isn't the greatest matchup, given like all the other massive favorites on the slate. But still, I think Dubois at this price range, he can easily pay off, maybe a 4x salary. He can easily get to 20 or more points if he gets on the end of a goal or contributes with an assist. So I like Dubois here at 4.9. Over to the winger position, Mikko Rantanen, most expensive winger on the slate, but probably the best winger on the slate. Last game out against San Jose, he had a point bonus. He had 2 goals and an assist. And that was without McKinnon. I mean, any game this season, he can hit that shot on goal bonus. And really, I think there's enough value on this slate that I don't mind paying up 8.1 for Rantanen here. Duchesne, he's the cover boy of this video. Matt Duchesne, he has 8 goals, 6 assists in 14 games so far this season. Playing on Nashville, that biggest favorite. I've seen a lot of ice time. And it's been nice to see Duchesne, his career kind of like come back into form here with his scoring ability. He's got 5 goals in his past 5 games with a couple of assists in there as well. So he's got a great floor already, and combine it with the upside and a sub-6 salary on the -300 favorite. Sign me up. Sign me up. And then down to Hartman from Minnesota, going up against Seattle, a Seattle team that has really been struggling to keep the puck out of their own net. So you're going to get Hartman at 3.9K. Now, he is shooting a lot. He's averaging close to 4 points per game here lately. And that's much more than a 3.9 price tag guy should be shooting. But he's also, one alarm. He's also putting the puck in the back of the net. In 13 games, he's already got 7 goals. So those shots just aren't willy-nilly shots, whatever. They're actually, a high danger and effective shot. So Hartman at 3.9K, I don't mind him there. He even got the block shot bonus last game, which that's probably not going to happen here tonight. But still, the upside you can kind of see is there with them. Over to GPP, if you don't want to go Rantanen, Nylander can make for a great pivot there. You can even pair him up with Austin Matthews. And that could be a nice, expensive kind of GPP pivot spot. I think a lot of people are going to be going to Colorado, and a lot of people are going to be going to Nashville. Some are going to be going on Toronto, but I think they're probably going to be going towards, Tavares and Marner on that second line. So Nylander, he has looked great on that top line with Matthews. So we'll see if he can kind of continue his strong run here as of late. Riley Smith for Vegas. Again, Vegas has all of those injuries, and Smith and Marchessault are kind of leading the charge here. He's got double-digit points in 7 of his 11 games. He's got 2 goals, 3 assists in his past 5 games, and he's a threat to hit that shot on goal bonus. It's not often he hits it, but with this increased role, he definitely is in line to get there. And then we'll go down to Jeannot for Nashville. Again, a lot of Nashville guys on the slate that we are targeting just because of how big a favorite they are and just how bad Arizona is. This guy's got a goal and 2 assists in his past 2 games. Nashville's battling some injuries, so he has seen some increased role, and he has done pretty well with it. So at 3.9K, I don't mind him as a GPP play. I wouldn't recommend him too much in cash, but if you want to stack him with a couple of his line mates in Johansson and Tomasino, I mean, you can absolutely go there. They're listed as the line 1, but if you look at the ice times, these guys really aren't the line 1. Line 1 is going to be your Duchesne line with Granlund and, I'm blanking, the left winger there with Duchesne and Granlund. Over to defender, we'll go with Shabbat as the top cash play in the top tier range. He's got shot on goal bonus or block shot bonus or both on any given night. He's been doing really well. He's been getting the bonuses every night or getting really close to them every single night. He doesn't have any goals on the season, only a couple of assists as well, but he's going up against Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's defense has been a little bit leaky lately. So I think, Ottawa could generate some goals here tonight, and if Chabot can get a shot on goal bonus and a block shot bonus, maybe combined with an assist, he is going to be paying off his salary immensely, even at that price range. Ferraro is probably my favorite defender play on the slate tonight, especially in cash. 4.5K, he's skating alongside Brent Burns, and Brent Burns has looked fantastic this season, but I think a lot of it has to do with Ferraro kind of being there with him. Ferraro seeing 26 to even 30 minutes of ice time. He's got 7 straight games with the block shot bonus. So, I mean, his floor is high. Even if he doesn't do anything but block shots, he's doing very well. He's got 15 DK points. He's averaging 15 DK points in those 7 games where he's blocking all those shots, because he's got a goal, 3 assists to go along with it. So Ferraro is my favorite cash play at the defensive position on the slate tonight. Then we'll go with Mark Pysyk down at 2.6 for Buffalo. Going up against Toronto, but he's kind of seen an increased role here lately. He's been skating with Rasmus Dahlin. They kind of shuffled up the defensive core after that ugly West Coast trip where they just couldn't stop anybody. So Pysyk is 2.6K with an increased role, 20 or more minutes of ice time compared to the 15, 16 that he was seeing. And he's got an assist in his past 2 games. So I think Pysyk could be a nice little punt play if you want to go down that route. As far as GPP, Roman Josi, 8.3K. This is just way too much. I don't want to pay this much for a guy, especially in cash for a defender. But I mean, in GPP, nobody's going to be playing this guy. He can, score goals. He can generate assists. He can shoot. He shoots the puck like crazy. He can block shots. He pretty much does it all on the back end for Nashville here. And like I mentioned, he's on Nashville. So they're going up against Arizona. They're probably going to score quite a few goals here. So it wouldn't surprise me if Josi gets on the score sheet at some point, whether it's a goal or an assist. Shane Gostisbehere on the other side of that matchup for Arizona, 4.4K. You can kind of be a little pivot off of Ferraro. So I like Ferraro at 4.5. He's my favorite defender. Gostisbehere is no slouch at 4.4. He's got 2 goals and 4 assists in his past 4 games. He's shooting the puck a lot more. He's blocking shots as well. He's seeing 20 or more minutes of ice time, getting power play time. So, I mean, Nashville's defense, it's not amazing. It's not the worst in the entire league. So I still think that Arizona's probably going to be able to generate some goals here. A couple of goals, I guess. And maybe Gostisbehere gets on some of them. And then just a punt GPP play. I'll go with Chris Weidman for Montreal going up against Detroit. This is strictly he plays on the top power play unit for Montreal. Detroit has a very weak penalty kill. So maybe, things line up and he can get a goal or an assist on the power play combined with a couple of shots here or there. So not looking too much into that, but, if you want to punt in GPP, there you go. Favorite line stacks, I'm going to go back to the well with this Colorado one of Landeskog, Comfort, and Rantanen. And then GPP, kind of like Connor, Dubois, and Svechnikov. I kind of already talked about Dubois. We all know what Connor can do. And Svechnikov, he's kind of like the oddball out on this line, but, he's been able to get on the score sheet at times so far this season. So Winnipeg, I don't think they're going to really get much ownership at all. It's going to be all focused on Nashville, Colorado, and Toronto. But behind them in the money line, you got Winnipeg going up against the Kings. So that's probably my favorite GPP play. Obviously, those Nashville stacks are going to be popular. So if you can find even just going lower in the lineup with Nashville, it can get you a little different from the top of Granlund and Duchesne. So that kind of covers things. As always, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, thumbs up. We really do appreciate it. We record these videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So please come check them out. But check out all the other stuff that we produce here at FSI. There's videos being released every single day in all the different sports. So please come check it out. We really do appreciate it. And thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.